Kenny Golladay.
This is last gasp for the New York Giants. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Did he? Did he? He did. And it's Kenny Golladay? Kenny Golladay.
In what was possibly your last game, your last snap, your last catch as a New York Giant, only 2 years into that contract, by the way, Kenny Golladay said, you know what? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me actually go catch my first touchdown as a New York Giant. And possibly my last touchdown as a New York Giant. It only took 2 full seasons. It only took a game that was basically meaningless to the Giants, where we were kind of playing our third stringers. And Golladay has his touchdown catch.
Get your numbers up. I had to get my numbers up.
And it was an amazing one too. Like, all jokes aside, all things considered, that was an amazing touchdown catch over Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay. Nice one-handedness, nice 50-50 ball, a nice Kenny Golladay-esque catch. Something we expected about $72 million ago. Something we expected about 2 years ago. And all jokes aside for a quick second, because I could keep cracking on Kenny Golladay all I want, but not gonna do that, mostly because I'm kind of like, that ship has sailed for me as a Giants fan. I'm already kind of done with the whole situation. But happy that it happened. Happy that we actually got a touchdown out of it. Happy that he got a touchdown out of it. You know, at least things can end off on a good note, if it is truly the end with Golladay and the Giants. We're gonna talk about that in a second. We're also gonna, well, not really gonna talk about it, but I'm just gonna briefly mention the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles, the #1 seed in the NFC, only won by 1 score against the Giants' backups. And you could go out there and say, well, they weren't really trying too hard. Now, they were trying, I'd say, for like the first half or first 3 quarters, because I definitely think once the score got up to like 22-9, that they sort of laid off a little bit and they eased up. And of course, you know, then we scored a touchdown and it became 22-16. But I expected it to be a lot worse, and it definitely makes me wonder, because I was somebody that wanted us to play our starters. I have no problem with the Giants and Brian Daboll resting the starters. I'm all for the health. We've been one of the most injured teams in the NFL this year, and thank God we are where we are despite those injuries. But I would have definitely wanted to see how this team that looks much different now than a month ago when we played the Eagles first, how they would have stacked up and how they would have played against the #1 team in the NFC. And I think we would have played just fine. I think we could have pushed them to the limit and potentially win, but that's neither here nor there. The main point of this video is to talk about the playoffs, and we'll get there soon. But Kenny Golladay caught Twitter by storm, caught Giants fans around the world, honestly, by storm. I mean, the reactions when this man caught his touchdown, you think the USA won the World Cup or something like that. Like, I could show you all the tweets as proof, but I gotta admit, I felt like a little heartstring pull in my chest. I don't know why, because it almost became this meme amongst Giants fans that Golladay is never gonna catch a touchdown pass in the Giants uniform. And then after it became a meme, it became something more of, you know what, we kind of want to see it because of just the absurdity of the entire situation. We signed him to one of the highest wide receiver contracts in NFL history, and he was a good wide receiver coming into that contract, but for whatever reason, it didn't work out. It is partially Galladay's, well, I would say it's mostly Galladay's fault, lack of effort, it seems like, on his part, especially in training camp and practice, and that's what Brian Daboll was looking for. And it also definitely is a little bit the coach's fault. Some of you, for some reason, have a tough time accepting that, but the coaches never really give this man a shot. And I'm talking about our current coaches, because as soon as he made a mistake, he was pulled. And while other wide receivers could make all the mistakes they heart desired, and they would stay in the game. Great example, Darius Slayton. Sir drops a lot. Richie James, kind of like Sir drops a lot the second. And they have been integral parts to our offense coming together and our entire team being where it is. But they make a lot of mistakes. Kenny Golladay, as soon as he made a mistake, was pulled from a game. And you're not going to get much of a rhythm in if that's happening. And like I said, I'm not excusing him either, because I do think most of this is on Kenny Golladay himself. But I was really, really happy to see that happen. Now, it sparked a lot of speculation on Twitter after his touchdown catch. You saw Daboll with him, and they were chatting. Looked like Daboll gave him a hug or something. Like, what if he's going to be an integral part of next week? And let's talk about next week. There's so much to be happy of. I really don't care that we lost. I think any Giants fans that care that we lost this game against the Eagles might be going a little senile, because we're in the playoffs. Whether we won or lost, we were going to stay the 6th seed. Whether we won or lost, we were going to get our matchup or our rematch against Minnesota. And I am so looking forward to this rematch against Minnesota. We are healthier than we were then. We are getting Adoree Jackson back, it looks like. And that alone is a huge difference, because we had Fabian Moreau and the crew out there trying to stop Justin Jefferson, and they did an extremely noble job. Like, all things considered, the Vikings spammed Justin Jefferson at the end of the game, and ultimately that helped them win the game. But for most of it, he had a quiet game by Justin Jefferson standards. Adoree Jackson, he's not like a top 5 corner in the league. I'm not saying that, but he is a much better option to line up against Justin Jefferson. And I am way more comfortable with our secondary when Adoree Jackson is healthy and playing out there versus it being Fabian Moreau. No disrespect to Fabian Moreau, because he's completely outplayed his contract, in my opinion, which I'm pretty sure was something around a vet minimum. But Adoree Jackson out there helps us out so much. I think we're going to get Aziz back as well. We are just an all-around healthier team. We know the Vikings. We lost to them just by 1 point. We lost to them on one of those freakishly long 61-yard field goals. I think this is all setting up to be a really healthy rematch and a Giants win. I'm really confident in that. Kirk Cousins gave us about 2 or 3 throws in the last time we played them at, what is it called? US Bank Stadium, I think. It's a beautiful stadium, by the way. He gave us 2 or 3 throws that really should have been turnovers, and for one reason or another, they did not come to fruition as turnovers. I think we're capitalizing on those this time around. Since then, that was really kind of the start of our offense really clicking. The offense has only continued to click the following week with the Colts. I am just really happy that we're matched up against them. I think our defensive line specifically has an advantage when matched up against their offensive line, because I think their offensive line has only gotten more banged up since we last saw them. Their secondary is weak. Our wide receiving core is weak. And as shown in that last game, we can throw on them. Saquon can run on them. Dalvin Cook is injured on their side. There's a lot of things working out for us. And call me crazy, I think we might be just slightly a little bit hotter than them entering the playoffs, even though record-wise and throughout the year they've been the better team. I think we got their number, and we'll see what happens. But Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Love that it's a Sunday. Thank God I work Saturday. So love that it's a Sunday, 4:30. All right, Kirk, you don't show up in big-time games, my boy. I'm expecting the Giants to really go in there and take care of business. And in terms of the Kenny Golladay thing, I'm not sure. I feel like it's fans getting a little excited. I feel like it's fans wanting a little bit something more to happen. And of course, that throw showed us a lot of things. It's not like people are saying, oh, he should get involved, or there's a chance he could be a little bit more involved in the playoff game now out of nowhere. That throw showed us one thing, is that Kenny Golladay still has what made him Kenny Golladay. Remember, at the beginning of the video, I said it was a very Kenny Golladay-esque catch because it was a 50-50 ball. That's what he specialized in when he was on the Detroit Lions. I think it shows that he still has the talent. And he was never somebody that got separation. He was always a big body, physical wide receiver. And those were the traits he used to get that touchdown. If somehow, some way they decide to use him, it only benefits us. And that's what's exciting. I made a joke saying Minnesota is going to be in shambles trying to figure out the difference between Kenny Golladay and Isaiah Hodgins because of how close they look like each other on the field. But it somehow, some way, Brian Daboll says, you know what, I'm going to give you some meaningful snaps and you're actually going to be out there. I'm all for it. But a good part of me is also saying I love the chemistry that Daniel has built with the current group of wide receivers that's been on the field consistently, and just the flow of the offense, and I kind of don't want to tamper with that. But you guys put your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. Either way, 18 wrapped up, regular season wrapped up, postseason is here. We're just a few days away, and we'll see what happens. Y'all know me. I'm saying the Giants going all the way until they don't. That's it for now. I'm out. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for checking out my channel, The Hub, here on Giants YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you hear every time I put out a video. Like it, share, and subscribe, and I'm out.